Hi, everybody. Hope you're having a great Thursday so far. I'm Molly Smith. Police are warning contractors, beware of copper thieves. Authorities say metal thefts are on the rise. In the most recent case, St. Albans police arrested a 44-year-old man after he allegedly swiped about 760 feet of copper pipe from a construction site in Enosburg. Paul Turcotte of Enosburg is now facing felony charges. Well, nearly 3,500 Americans die from fire and burns every year. And this week, local firefighters and medical professionals are teaming up to raise awareness about burn protection. Firefighters in the Queen City showed off their fire truck to pediatric patients at Fletcher Allen Healthcare. Inside, they handed out candy and coloring books while counseling parents about hidden hazards. Most burns occur in kitchens, and doctors say for kids, scalding is the most common type of burn. One easy way to reduce the risk is turn down water heaters. Well, pet owners in the Northeast Kingdom are speaking out about limited emergency care for their pets. Donna Gray's 8-year-old dog Rex got sick recently, so she called 4 area vets for help. But it was after hours, and they all sent her 50 miles away to Littleton, New Hampshire. The drive from her Newark home is almost 90 minutes. Rex died from what is now believed to be a heart attack 40 minutes after he showed signs of being sick. Donna says local vets in the kingdom should offer late-night emergency services. Haas says Vermont has more pets per capita than any other state, but in rural areas, emergency care needs to cover a wider area to be financially feasible. Well, it was curtains for an historic building in South Royalton yesterday. The Knights Opera House, also known as the Grange Hall, was knocked to the ground Thursday afternoon. The building, which was built in 1911, was in serious disrepair. People in town watched as the structure was torn down. Some on hand, including town officials, were sad to see it go. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us. I'm Molly Smith. Well, he was named Vermont's Principal of the Year last year, but today he's on leave after an alleged drunk driving crash. For Jen's high school co-principal, Edwin Weebly, was seen here in a story from last fall, was cited earlier this week. Weebly's wife called state police claiming he'd crashed his car into the back of their garage in Bristol. She told police her husband was drunk and a danger to himself and others. Well, a self-described presidential historian has pleaded guilty yesterday to stealing hundreds of pages of historic documents from several East Coast institutions, including UVM. Barry Lando now faces up to 15 years in jail for stealing and planning to sell rare works from museums and libraries across the Atlantic coast, from the FDR Presidential Library in New York to the Maryland Historical Society and the University of Vermont, where multiple items disappeared, including signed letters from Presidents Taft, Wilson, and both Roosevelts. Prosecutors say Lando spent several years planning the thefts. Well, a Woodstock farming family is picking up the pieces after a huge fire barreled through their historic barn last week. The blaze burned most of the farmhouse at the Bassett farm. Owners say it started near a wood furnace out back. Although the fire spared the nearly 200 cows, the Bassett family is still devastated, as this is just another blow for the farm. Its hay crop was wiped out by Tropical Storm Irene. Well, there is a little bit of a silver lining. They do have insurance, and local community members have provided much needed support for the family. Well, they could be some of Vermont's youngest woodworkers that you've ever seen. Kids as young as 6 are taking part in an after-school shop class in Essex. Everything down to the pencil sharpener is hand-operated. The idea, use your creativity, learn a skill, and have fun. The program will be offered again this summer in towns across Chittenden County. You have any skills with any of those crazy machines?
Not like that.
No, me either.
That's good.
Well, 20 Questions is a popular game for road trips or small get-togethers, but what about for high school students? In 1986, there was no way of measuring students' knowledge, so a 20-question test was issued to all high school students across the state, and Channel 3 followed up on the results to see how the students stacked up. 20 questions tested students from Hazen, Union, CVU, Montpelier, South Burlington, and Rice, asking questions like name 3 countries in South America, or what are the 7 continents, shade in the United States on a blank map of the world, who were the last 5 presidents, who is the current vice president. Schools in higher income demographics did better than their counterparts, but the test scores were still considered alarming to some educators. A New York man fired a loaded gun in an upstate New York courthouse and was killed during a gunfight. Authorities say 43-year-old Timothy Malqueen of Middletown was shot by courthouse officers after he opened fire in the lobby at City Court. A court officer suffered a minor wound in his arm as a result. Officials say Malqueen had a case pending in the court, but details weren't immediately available. They say he arrived armed with a 12-gauge shotgun and numerous rounds of ammunition. Well, there was a surprise plea deal in the case of 2 former Massachusetts pool managers charged in connection with the drowning of a woman last summer. 37-year-old Jeff Carter and 60-year-old Brian Shanahan were charged with recklessness for allowing kids to swim in the Veterans Memorial Pool in Fall River, even though the water was cloudy. Well, it turns out the body of 36-year-old Marie Joseph was at the bottom of the pool for 2 days while children swam in the murky water. In court this week, the 2 pool managers admitted to, quote, the sufficient facts, but their attorney says the admission was not a guilty plea. The judge has now ruled that the charges will be dismissed if the 2 stay out of trouble for 1 year. All bets are off on gambling vote in New Hampshire. Opponents and supporters of a gambling bill in the Granite State have postponed a key vote in the House. Officials say a number of new amendments demand another public hearing. They expect that to happen next Monday. The Republican-led legislature is more open to gambling legislation than it has been in the past, as it looks for new non-tax revenue sources. Although various gambling measures have passed the Senate in the past, none has passed the New Hampshire House. And dozens of homes and vehicles have been targeted by vandals, but so far no arrests have been made. Piles of glass and plastic bags serve as signs that young vandals have struck. Intervale Avenue in Burlington is one of the scenes where more than 60 incidents and acts of vandalism have taken place so far, but police say the vandals' work is spread out through 6 cities and towns. The vandals are using BB guns to knock out windows of homes, businesses, and cars, sometimes even firing from a moving vehicle, which police fear could send the wrong message. Hoyt says the Williston police have identified a vehicle and 5 suspects ranging from about 16 to 21 years old who are believed to be involved with the spree. They say they found some BB guns stolen from Walmart, but they have yet to make any arrests because they're still collecting evidence.